Planner friends, it's Nia. Welcome to Life with Nia. Today we are closing out our March 2023 budget. We are going to be going through income expenses, business expenses, cash envelopes, sinking funds, debt, where our money went this month, and goals. So to start with, I want to give a shout out to Lucy May. I had asked, I think it was in the March setup video, it may have been February closeout, for some feedback, comments, suggestions on ways that I could improve and sort of like meet some of the goals that I was looking at. And she provided me with a very in-depth and comprehensive response that I am sure it took a lot of time and thought for her to do so. And I appreciate the thoughtfulness that you put into it, and I appreciate the feedback. Thank you so much. So I just wanted to make sure that I recognized you and let you know that I appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate the amazing ideas. I appreciate that. So let's talk about March and what ultimately happened this month. So we're going to start with income, and we will go through the goals at the very end. So for income, I was estimating this month $10,372. We ended up at $11,399, which is amazing. I think that is one of my highest months. This actually was the highest month I have ever had in Etsy revenue. So that was pretty exciting, especially on the back of a bank collapse, which was a little unnerving. If you're not familiar with the bank collapse, SVB Bank, Silicon Valley Bank, is one of the banks that Etsy used to pay out sellers. And so there was some delay in payment there, and it was a little worrisome, but it appears to have all worked out. They're using one of their other banks, and just a minor hurdle. But in any case, this was one of our highest selling months, even higher than like around Black Friday, which is usually our biggest time. So that was pretty exciting. But I will say, the amount that I was paid out from Etsy over the month was $5,923, but $1,400 of that, about 25%, went to taxes. So what you see here is a little misleading in that that's not like all money that I get to go spend and have a great time with, or even put towards, debt and savings. It's a big chunk of it goes back into operating expenses, and a big chunk of it off the top goes to taxes. But we did bring in $1,026 more than anticipated. I had wanted to purchase a printer. I did not do that just yet. I am adulting, and so instead I paid off some debt. So for expenses, we had some... we missed a page. We skipped a page. For expenses, we had some oddities this month. So for the most part, I shouldn't say for the most part, everything was spot on because we had oddities. So let's start with home insurance. Home insurance, I think I shared, I canceled my home insurance and my car insurance were through the same company. I canceled the car insurance and went with someone else because when they renewed in February, they raised my rate considerably, and I don't go anywhere. So it was going to be nearly $200 a month. I got it, I think it's like $112 or $113 with the new company. And so then they started charging a $6 per month fee on the home insurance rate. So it's $24, but they were charging $6, making it $30. And so I just went ahead and actually paid. I paid for 2 months thinking that was going to buy me time to figure out what I was going to do, but all it did was pay ahead. I don't know why in my head I thought that was what was going to happen. But anyway, so I paid for 2 months when it was due, which was $54.30. Then at the end of the month, I just went ahead and paid off the entire year. So I paid $218.65 So unfortunately they got me on 2 of those little $6 fees, but it's paid until February of 2024, and then I can decide next year, like, do I want to stay with them or do I want to go somewhere else? And I'm going to have a sinking fund, and so going forward, if I do stick with them, because the rate is actually excellent, then I can just pay for the whole thing next year. So that happened with home insurance. Then car insurance, my second payment was due. I pay, it's a 6-month premium, and I pay at the beginning and then midway through. And so $334.40, and that gets me through the end of the policy, which I think is July 30th. So that was a large amount, but I was saving each month for that. So we knew that was coming. I had a sinking fund. So those are 2 large things that happen. I'm still trying to figure out the whole T-Mobile Hulu thing. I shared that they had rate like T-Mobile Sprint covered Hulu, and then I was getting a credit for I switched from Dish to Hulu Live. I was getting a credit still for the free Hulu that I get through Sprint/T-Mobile. So then I got a thing saying the exact amount of my credit was the amount that my Hulu was going up, which was off-putting to say the least. So I thought it was going to be like $170. It ended up only being $157. That's for both Hulu and my phone, so to combined. Offhand, I don't know what the 2 are separate. I want to say the Hulu was like $70 and it went up to $82. So it ended up only being $157 this month. I don't know. It might be something different next month. We'll see. I'm still trying to figure it out. And then I had 2 cloth and paper sub boxes scaled back down to 1, so that'll go down in April. We paid $400 to Discover. That was mainly to cover recurring charges. And then I have on here, this is wrong. I need to fix this. I don't know what the right number is offhand. I'll find it somewhere and I'll fix it, but it was more than that. For the Platinum card, I paid that off, so I paid, and then I paid I paid like $9.85 and paid it all off. So a total of $1,011.63 went to the Platinum card, paid it off, which is why we did not get a printer. So then on to business expenses. Also had a few little oddities here. So I pay, Shopify is due on like the 2nd or something like that of the month. And so I paid $29 for the month. And I knew that it was going to renew on April 2nd. And then I had like, I think April 13th or something like that is when they changed their rates. So I knew I wanted to go annual to lock in the lower rate, because it would have been $39 a month. So I paid $318.48, which is a prorated amount through April of 2024 for Shopify. And I don't know if this was last month, but on 2 of my printers, I had to increase the number of pages that I can print. I use HP Instant Ink, and so it went up to $26.93 on 2 of them. I also spent roughly about $400 on things for future planner sesh boxes. And then I spent about $70 for a new product that I haven't launched yet. And then there were the normal things like blades and mailers, and I spent about $50 on art. So that is the business expenses. And if you hear Petey whining, there is nothing wrong with him. He has picked up this new skill. He's not a barker, but he has just picked up whining, and it drives me absolutely crazy, and it's attention seeking. So I'm working on ignoring it because that's what they say you should do. If there's nothing wrong with them, they don't need food, they don't need to go outside, ignore them. Because I don't want to reinforce that whining is going to get you to get attention from me. But he can go for a really long time. He especially likes to do it at night for no reason at all. And it's like for like an hour. And it's like I want to pull my hair out. Anyway, PD was also a very expensive endeavor this month. We'll talk about that in a second. So cash envelopes this month. We did a total of 991 to our cash envelopes, and I always look at what's left over for groceries, eating out, and household. And this month have a little bit left over in groceries. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so $8 left over in our grocery fund. There's nothing in household. And then dining out, we have $4. So that is going to get rolled over into these little envelopes, and we save these until the end of the year, and then we count up all the money that's been rolled over for the year, and I will decide where it will go at that time. Last year's went to my emergency fund. I actually asked you all what you thought I should do with it, and the majority of people said emergency fund, so that is where I put it. So here we have, I don't know if 8 ones is going to go into these envelopes nicely. And this is from Conversation, which these are the 100 envelope challenge envelopes. I just don't use them for that purpose because I electronically transfer my 100 envelope challenge money. Okay, so we've got that rolled over. Let's look at our sinking funds. So for our sinking funds, are actually doing pretty good. Let's talk about where some money went this month. So for our emergency fund, we started with 4,683 and some change. We put in 469, and then that may not include zero out savings challenge money, but we ended with 4,69144, which is not a huge difference from where we started. It's about $8. Okay, so but let me tell you why. I used $220 to just $228 actually to pay that home insurance for the year. And I look at my emergency fund as also an opportunity fund. If I have an opportunity to do something that in the long run I think will benefit me, this is a place where I will pull the money from. So I know people probably don't look at that as an emergency. I felt like that was the best thing to do for this situation. Could I have taken it from somewhere else? Yes, but that's where I chose to take it from. So $228 went to the home insurance for the year. And then $125 went to PD's cardio appointment, which is in April. But they changed, the cardiologist now requires a deposit. So not only is it more expensive, but you have to put a deposit down. So I had to put a $125 deposit down. And I took it from my emergency fund, which is not unusual for me. So these higher cost expenses for PD, the veterinary care is, I have been using the emergency fund to cover those things, and I will continue to do so. His fund was never kind of meant to cover that type of high cost care. I also took $91 for him to cover his appointment. He had an appointment because they wouldn't fill his prescription. They said they hadn't seen him in over a year, which is actually not true because he was seen in June of last year. and this was March, so this is early March, so it was only like 9 months, but whatever. It was only supposed to be $75. I think it was $75. It ended up doing a rabies vaccine and a heartworm check and then a heartworm prescription, which, okay, no, he doesn't take that daily. It's once a month. I was like, which I failed to give him every day, but it's not a daily thing. So the appointment ended up being just under $200 instead of $75. That also came out of here, and that, I think all of that totals like $444. So that is why there's not a big difference. For taxes, we started at $2,011. We ended at $2,804. Vacation, we started at $953. We ended up at $1090. This is primarily $5 bills, but when I received my interest payment from Ally, it was $23.45. I also put it into my vacation fund. For health, we started with $184, and we are ending with $257.14. Just went and purchased some allergy medicine, and I am doing amazing today, considering I took it today, and I'm like, we're back in business. Car, we started at $290. We ended at $355. Bulk shopping started at $126, ended at $59. Petey's envelope, we started at $245. We ended at $125. This was an expensive month for him for both medication and food as well. Home, we started at $465. We ended at $637. Business started at $1, ended at $21. Christmas, we started at $268. And 57 cents. We ended at $286. That was $10 plus loose change. Black Friday, we started at $160. We ended at $220. Self-care, we started at $83. I don't know where the 10 cents is coming from, because I for sure do not have 10 cents in my envelopes. We ended at $113. Sam's Club, we started at $10. This is for membership. We ended at $15. Costco, we're not contributing to, so it stayed at $70. Amazon Prime started with $10, ended with $20. Canva started with $10, ended with $20. P.O. Box started with $171, ended with $187. Clothing started with $40, ended with $50. iPad started with $100, ended with $120. Birthday started with $123, ended with $153. This is the Ally checking account buffer. We started with $7.38. Now there's $16.85 in there. Profit account, we started with $796.27, and we are now at $1,071.27. Roth, I got to make a decision this month what I'm going to do with this money. $894.50 is where we started. We're at $1054.50. The reason I say that is because it's actually in the Ally account, not in the investment account, the Roth investment. Part of it's in the Roth investment. I'm kind of like on the fence about the amount to move over, just waiting for taxes to finish, because I don't want to contribute more than I am allowed to. Insurance, we started with $115 and we ended with $10 because we paid the car insurance. And then Shopify, we started with $120 and we added, and then we ended with $0 because we paid Shopify for the year. So we started with $12,172. We ended with $13,448. And that is our sinking fund. So I'm really happy with how those are going. I think I'm probably going to lose a big chunk of it in April to taxes, and that is okay. Is what it's there for. All right, debt. Before we talk about debt, let's talk about where our money went, and we'll talk about debt as well. So this month, 16% of our money went to home, 1.8% went to utilities that are water, sewer, and trash, and 1% went to gas and electric. 5% went to insurance, 2% went to groceries. If you add eating out, it was 3%, and if you add bulk shopping, it was 4.3%. 4% went to PD. In total, in March, I spent $458.17 on PD. I spent 19% on business expenses. I spent 33% on debt. 7% of that was Afterpay, and then 26% was other debt. 12% of my total income went to taxes, but 25% of the Etsy income went to taxes. That's really not accurate because you don't really see my total income. You see my after-tax income from my primary job. But anyway, it's a whole little thing. I'm getting sidetracked. 7% went to savings, and I think I said 33. See, the whining gets me distracted. 33%, PD says hi though. 33% went to debt. So, for this month, for March, the goal, we started at $30,285. The goal was to be under $28,785, which was a $1,500 decrease. We ended at $28,151. So we decreased by $2,134. So I'm super excited about that. As I shared earlier, I paid off this card. So it ended up being $1,011 total in payments. I'm assuming, because I have $962 here, but I'm assuming it was interest. It might have also been because there's a $29 recurring charge on that, which I need to move to another card. I actually need to cancel it because it's something I'm on the fence about canceling. I've shared before. It's a business item. So I had also wanted to pay off the PayPal. We just weren't able to get there, but we went from $827 down to $691. So feeling good about that as well. And then the car is at $89.47. I just feel so close on the car. Let me show you real quick the goal for... before I show you that. So I have my annual expenses and annual business expenses here. I'm probably going to redo these because so many things have changed. I'm waiting for them to formally notice me, but my rent is going to go up. I went from Dish to Hulu. That amount has changed. My Xfinity has changed. It's like 77 now instead of 60. The car and home changed when I renewed in February, and then because I changed companies. So I just feel like it's just really not as good of a accurate reflection as it could be. The platinum card is like gone now, so I want to update this. And then over here I have these lower amounts for the ink, $12.92 and $20.46. They're now both $26.93. Shopify is like paid for, so it's still kind of accurate, but what I had paid this year is actually more than $348. I've been spending more on art than $50 a month. This is wrong. This should, instead of 8, this should be 9. Then there's another thing here that's missing. I noticed also that Gold City, probably because I said I was going to cancel it, is missing. So that's $29 a month. Blades are definitely costing me more than $40 annually, $333 a month. So I want to update that. But anyway, I'll probably do a quarterly sinking funds update and show you where I am as of March 31st compared to January 1st. And then I had like a Q1 sort of plan. It may be in the other book, but it was to focus on PayPal, Ashley, and Discover. And then I switched gears and ended up focusing on, I don't know why, but this Platinum. I kind of do know why, but and so that was the one I ended up paying off. So I think I'm still gonna keep, like, for Q2 the Discover, but going back to these two as well. So just sort of like thinking ahead and sharing with you all what the plan is moving forward as well. So that is how we ended March. We did a really good job increasing our savings through our sinking funds. Oh, I did not talk about savings. So total savings for the month of March through the savings challenges was $837.72. And what you see through the weekly savings challenges updates only reflects $819 of that, because the loose change is not something that you see. I take it into the bank to have like a Coinstar machine. It gets deposited and it goes into my Christmas fund. And then $10 a month is what I'm contributing this year to my Christmas fund. So that's kind of an off-camera thing. But $837.72 is what we saved this month. So let's look at our goals and then we will finish up. So we had a goal to save $750. We did that. We saved, what did I just say? $837.72. And we had a goal to pay down $1,500 in debt, and we did that. We paid down $2,134. Wanted to pay off PayPal, did not do that. We did make a couple of extra payments though. I wanted to do an extra $100 to Ashley. I only did an extra $50. We did great on tracking expenses. We actually have worked on Shopify. Woohoo! I have everything over to my accountant for my taxes, and all of my quarterly tax prep is done. I am actually ready to pay my quarterly taxes. I did not work on these spreadsheets though, and I'm not sure if I'm going to. And then paying off the Platinum card is done. So that is how we did on our goals for the month of March. Let me know how your March budget and goals, financial goals or otherwise, went. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any comments, questions, or feedback, please feel free to leave that down below. I'll see you next time. Bye.